Welcome back, dear students. In this lesson, we are going to be looking at differences in terms of interfaces and libraries. What is interface? What is a library? Then in Solang Solidity for Solana, as well compared to vanilla Solidity on EVM. So basically, there are two parts I want to say this can be classified into, and I will only stop on the first part, while I hope in the future, in advanced courses coming up, maybe we can discuss on that. So when you talk about interfaces, when you talk about libraries, you can either be on the side of creating it or just using existing one. So we are only going to be focusing on using existing one and not creating it, because creating it takes you to be well experienced and solid in Solidity to create a library or interface without flaws. And good enough for us, there are a lot of already, maybe verified, checked, and examined source code and libraries and interfaces that we can use in our smart contract in Solang Solidity for some of the projects on Solana, just like you have it on EVM, on Ethereum. So instead of rewriting, we just pick them and make use of it, and that's what we'll be using in the reward project Ep17 token we are taking and modifying. Now, focusing on the aspect of just using them, what are interfaces? What are libraries? Interfaces are just a kind of a layer. You have a smart contract, has a lot of functions, then you can build an interface on top of it so that it limits what could be released, what could be accessed. You understand? So with that, people can interact like an interface through their own smart contract with the actual smart contract, but the interface can now control or limit what could be accessed or what could not be accessed. So a lot of these tables are more of when you are building the interface, what are the things that is acceptable or not acceptable to be included in your interface smart contract code. But like I said, we are not going into building it actually, we just want to use it. So the major thing that you need to be aware of is that what an interface, and when you talk about library is already written smart contract that is generally available for other people to build their smart contract on by making use of some features. For example, on a blockchain, there are lots of things that are repetitive, that if I build my smart contract, 1,000 people build their smart contract, as much as they need those features, we will write the same code. So why repeat the same code in 1,000 or 100,000 smart contracts when somebody can just write it once, then other ones can inherit it as long as that particular single smart contract that will be used or program that will be used by everyone has gone through audit to at least confirm that, okay, the developer has not put any backdoor or anything in there to affect our contract. So that's the same thing when you are dealing with vanilla Solidity. You have the popular library, which is OpenZeppelin platform. They are for ERC20, ERC721, and a lot more like that. So you just make use of them, you import them, like you have seen it here. You import the library, and then instantly you have access to the functions and everything in your smart contract. We don't need to write all those things again. But on Solana, which when you are using Solang, we have the official one called the SPL token program. You understand? So there are a lot of other programs there as well. On Solana, it is called program, not smart contract. So when you hear me interchangeably mentioning program, I'm also referring to smart contract. So that's how you import it. For example, we will still do that, but at least you have idea when we get there. You want to create a library an SPL token. The same if you are creating an ERC20 token, you have to import from Open Zeppelin library, which we'll still see and do together when we get to that stage. But at least just showing you all these basic syntax and features and all those things, so that by the time we are using it, you have idea. I told you don't need to bother to keep all these things in your head. Just have idea, and the more you work with real life or real world projects, the more those things get stuck or stick to your head. So at least having the idea helps as well. So you see it now, we can import. We have the folder called libraries, and inside it we have the SPL token. You see .so, and you can see this also imports Solana, which is default. Then system instruction, this has not been there. Once we are doing, we also add it as well. But for now, you can see that this has a lot of functions and code. You can see it. This almost about 300, almost 400 lines of code. So all these things has been written for us. You won't need to write it again, and you can just begin to call each of these functions. What this does, this library does, is it helps to handle everything you need on Solana using Solang Solidity, using the Solidity to interact with the SPL token program on Solana. So this is a library and also serving as an interface, because unlike Ethereum, where there's no central deployed, single deployed smart contract for you to interact with when you want to create ERC20, ERC721, that's your NFT and more. On Solana, there's already an official program deployed, because since Solana programs or smart contracts are divided into two, which we have discussed earlier about the one that hold the code and the second one that hold the data. So we have the program for the code execution. So the program for the code execution can be deployed, and multiple other programs or developer can use them directly on the Solana blockchain. So that's what happened here. It has been deployed, and this serves as both like a library and interface that you can use to interact. So if you want to mint, if you want to actually, it may be confusing. Mint also on Solana refer to that token. You can see mint to check and things like that. So a mint is the token itself, but on EVM you refer minting to like creating a new token in a token smart contract. So a bit of confusion there. So now you have a lot of this, and you can just import it and start using the function right inside your code. We'll still get to it. Just want to give you a brief understanding of what the library and interface is, and you can read about them. A lot of this, like I said, are more of if you want to build it, but we are not actually building it. We library or interface, we are actually using existing one through this course, and that is advanced level for you to start creating this, because all of this you're seeing is officially from Solana team, and it has been audited, so we can at least to a level trust it, but always do your own research. So that's how this works, and if you have any question, don't forget to sliding into the community. Ask question, will be there to support you, and check on resources. Go through the exercise to solidify your learning, and by the time we get to the practical aspect of using these things, you get it. So don't get worried too much of keeping them, because they are too much. They are different parts. So I will see you in the next lesson. Keep the programming spirit high and alive. I remain Solomon Foske. Peace.